first possible mugshots of an iPhone 5 make the scene. Apple releases iOS 4.3.5, but it's only for their security. And can face detection make it to iOS 5? All this and more coming up right now. Hello everybody, I'm Jaime Rivera and welcome to the PocketNow iReview, the show where we go through all this week's cool and the not so cool inside the world of Apple's iOS devices. Let's start this week off with the cool. So what's a week in Apple news without rumors? Well, we have current mugshots of a possible iPhone 5 being tested in the field, though the ugly part here is that it looks a lot like the iPhone 3GS in the backing, but let's hope Apple doesn't bring back that old plastic that makes the device look like last decade and they stick with aluminum or some sort of curved glass. It seems that Apple will bring a device that's thinner than the current generation iPhone 4, as some sort of cases are out in the market already saying the device will be thinner, but it does seem that Apple will make the device half an inch wider than the current design, which is really interesting. Let's see what Apple brings to the table because not everything's nice. A Korean telecom's already mentioning that they're preparing for the iPhone 5, but it seems that they're receiving 16GB and 32GB models of the iPhone 5 and not the 32 and 64 gigs that we were waiting for, which means that Apple is probably going to work either on a really dramatic redesign on the device and probably say that the storage was to keep the prices down, or we need competitors to step their game up and make Apple bring more storage to devices, as competitors are really not doing a good job in bringing more storage than the iPhone is right now. Now, one of the really cool features that Apple brought to OS X line was face detection to apps like Photo Booth, but it's rumored that it'll come to iOS 5, but nobody's getting them in the betas, and that includes the iPad too. Rumors have it that Apple's working on bringing a better front-facing camera to the next generation iPhone, and that this feature for face detection on Photo Booth will only be available on the next generation iPhone 5 and probably the next generation iPad 3. Now, again, these are just rumors, but then again, if Apple ever figures out how we can unlock our devices with face detection and not have it smash when it looks at my face, then hey, I'm a buyer. Now, as a follow-up to last week's news coverage where we were mentioning that Apple was currently the largest smartphone manufacturer by volume, it's being confirmed by ADC, ABI, and other firms like Strategy Analytics that are mentioning that the numbers are true. Apple is currently the largest smartphone manufacturer both in volume and in revenue. How much revenue is that? Well, Apple slashed 2/3 of the profits made by mobile companies only in last quarter, which is a lot of money. But aside from that, you've heard those funny news that currently Apple is making or has more cash at hand than the US government? Well, it could be true, and it could give some ideas to certain countries that are having economical problems. I mean, make smartphones. Really good smartphones. As we get close to the not-so-cool section, some of you may be happy to know that Apple and AT&T have dropped the iPhone 3GS price to a little more than nothing, meaning a penny for an iPhone 3GS on a 2-year contract. Now, what's the catch? Well, first of all, it's a refurbished device. It'll only give you a 90-day warranty, and you'll have limited Apple Care. And aside from that, you could probably get some marks somewhere because apparently there are cosmetic issues with the devices. Nothing confirmed. Go to an AT&T store and confirm that yourself before you purchase. But again, if you're in the market for an iPhone 3GS and you really want one and you can't wait for the next generation iPhone to be released and the iPhone 4 to become the cheap device, then go ahead and buy it. But these could be good news because this could mean that Apple is prepping to release the next generation device, or it could mean that you just need to get yourself an iPhone now without any excuses. Alright, so before we end our cool section, we've got some really good news for all of you. We've received a ton of requests for us to release an iReview sort of video for Android and Windows Phone, and well, as of next week, we're starting this project officially. As of next Tuesday, you can expect our Android Revolution show, which will bring you all things good and bad inside the world of Google's Android project, and as of Thursday, you can expect our Windows Phone View show, which will bring you all things good and bad inside of Microsoft's Windows Phone 7 platform. Also expect our iReview, the one you already know, every Saturday as of next week for you to enjoy. And well, this is just for us to compile all our platforms and being served as they should. Aside from that, you'll also be getting Dan Webster's shows, which will bring you an iOS App Store Picks show. You'll also be getting a Windows Phone 7 app roundup and also our Android Application Weekly. All really good shows to give you a full week of coverage of everything that's good and bad inside the world of all our smartphone platforms. As always, remember, feedback feedback is always welcome. We always enjoy it. So let us know what you think about the shows, and always support us with your thumbs up, because those are the things that allow us to continue bringing you these videos. Well, that does it for the cool. Let's continue on with the not so cool. And well, Apple, just 10 days after releasing iOS 4.3.4, has released version 4.3.5 to the media, which is 4.2.10 on Verizon, for everybody that wants to upgrade their iPhone. Now, remember, this is only a security fix update that's beneficial for Apple. If you still are on 4.3.3, there's really no need for you to upgrade. If you want to jailbreak your device and make it easy on you, stay on 4.3.3, and if you want to have the latest and greatest, then well, upgrade your device as of now, but that's pretty much it. Only a security update. That's why it's not really cool. There are really no benefits for us. And well, rumors have it that Apple will be using cheaper materials as of the next generation iPhone 5 and iPad 3 to save money. And you'd wonder, why would they want to save money if they're already selling so much? Isn't it supposed to be that the more volume that's sold, the cheaper that it gets? Well, it seems that Apple, and well, some images have been released out there that have a sort of iPhone using probably plastic materials instead of glass, and we're still debating on that, because it does seem that Apple would probably work on an anti-glare screen for the next generation iPhone and not necessarily plastic. Now again, these are just rumors, nothing that can be confirmed just yet, but we do hope that Apple remembers that one of the reasons why the iPhone 4 was so popular was because it had really good materials. The construction design was fabulous, and we do hope that Apple doesn't lose their legacy of good product manufacturing over making money and competing with competitors. That's it for today's show. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Jaime Rivera. Remember to give us a thumbs up if you liked what you saw, and stay tuned for our next videos for Android Revolution and Windows Phone 7 View next week. That's it for now.